as live can be.
It says live.
All right. So, second stream of the day in the basement. I am in Fun and Country basement today, and I am very fortunate to be here with my friends Glenn and Walter. I will let them introduce themselves, but we should be having a great time today, just hanging out, talking about such and such.
Go ahead, Walter.
No, ladies first.
Wow.
Right.
I'm not even sure how to respond to that. Well, everybody, I am Glenn, and I am without my Xander today. He's out shopping for his Halloween costume, but we are FunKing3D. We are a father and son team who do electronic projects and 3D printing projects, and really all we do right now is work on the FK1, and we can be found everywhere at FunKing3D.
Okay, is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm Walter, and I run a little channel called Kuntry3D. I appreciate everybody retweeting. You know, I'm getting closer to 1,000, which is awesome. Anyway, just want to let you know I feel a lot better than I did last week. Thanks everybody for understanding. I was under the weather pretty much all week long. I do appreciate it, and I can be found Twitter. And don't find me on Facebook. I don't answer messages there. I'm on Twitter, and I'm on YouTube at Kuntry3D. So, hey. Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement.
Excellent. And Walter, I will retweet as soon as I figure out what that is and how.
Oh, that's right. We've got Chris on Twitter.
I am now on Twitter.
And congratulations on your 5,000 people, dude. I really hadn't been even keeping up. I mean, work and just not feeling good. And this hurricane thing kind of threw everything for a loop. You know, hey, everybody. And I'm not doing the chat today. Chris hasn't been here in like 5 months, so
I should do the chat.
Do chat.
Yeah, in fairness, I'm recovering from a pretty nasty migraine this morning, so I'm not really going to pay much attention to the chat either because I'm having a hard time seeing it. It may also cause me to say things that I like, not that I don't mean, but I may put the wrong word in once in a while. Just go with it.
We still love you, buddy.
I get the symptoms that I get with a migraine are equivalent to a stroke.
Wow.
Which is really scary, but it has been diagnosed as a migraine. And I forget what kind of migraine they call it. I just call it bad because that's generally what it is. But
wow. All right, let me run through chat real quick. So John, Trolling for Dollars is here. Stephen Lightspeed, welcome. Tony Ryan is here. 3D Gusner, Chad Williams. He's talking about an MMU2. 3D Gusner is here. Uncle Ron. 3D Printing Trucker. FunKing3D's here. How I Do It. Chris Wiley now on Twitter. That is right. Brian Vines. Hello. I never know how to say that. Brit Hawk 3DP. Ron, Robbie Mac, James Sonic Alchemy, AJ, Richard is here. G's 86. Yeah, I don't notifications. They're talking about notifications. It seems like nobody gets notifications for streams that I do at this moment. I'm not sure why. Tony Casa del Wacos is here. We're almost through this. Whatever Maker is here. Welcome. Robert Reynolds. Jake from State Farm, who is also Jake Matt, as I like to call him now. Rodney is here. Carl Brown is here. Mapro6. Inside the Mind of Matt. Mad Mike. There's a lot of people here. Magnus. John is here. Apples Up North. Hello, how are you?
That's a new one.
Yeah, Papos Projects, Eddie Mosier. There's a whole lot of people talking about me on Twitter. Motorhead Mitch, and now we are current. So hello, everyone.
there are 53 currently watching.
All right.
And out of you 53, only 8 of you have given Chris a thumb. So take the thumb of your choice.
Good morning.
Give that thumb some love.
Apples Up North on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. But you know, it's pretty neat though, because he's on the Upper Peninsula and Glenn's on the Lower Peninsula or Middle Peninsula. Yeah, middle, right?
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
Or do they don't call it the Lower Peninsula when you get down to like Okeechobee and stuff? It's just the peninsula.
That's
right?
just South Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just North Cuba. I mean,
Yeah.
South Florida. But yeah, they do. They call that the Upper Peninsula, and I thought the whole thing was upper. I didn't think the peninsula went way down like south.
He's been on Twitter since September, lurking. That is true, but I signed up for Twitter and never looked at it once. I was going to do it. I was going to do the 5,000 giveaway a long time ago. You know, when I hit 5,000, but never had the chance to. So I signed up for Twitter like the day before I was going to do it, and then they told me I had to go to Seattle. So,
oh, I was wondering, man, because you still don't follow me, and probably don't.
Twitter?
What's that? Do you follow me on Twitter?
I'm pretty sure you're one of the 5,000 buttons I hit on my phone today.
The 5,000 button. Carl asked me a question. He said, Kuntry3D, did you see where Sir Walter layers a lot? No, I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. What is that?
Oh, somebody did it already? Holy cow.
What is it?
Well, so Printed Solid got Carmelo to come up with a mascot, which is a knight, Sir Layers a lot.
Yeah.
And people have been putting all these different faces and stuff on it already. So somebody just put a Walter.
Somebody put my Walter, my country head on the Sir Layers a lot. Wow.
I still like your face on the cup. That was awesome.
Yeah, I've got one of those. I should mail you one. Just don't use it because it leaks like really badly.
Roy Holly is here. Welcome, Roy. I already said hi to Carl Brown. There we go. No follow back. I'm still trying to figure it out, Steven. Like I said, I hit a whole lot of buttons, but I'm not sure what I did. So I'll get there. I promise. My phone has just been making noises since the stream this morning, so I'm not quite sure what all those alerts are, but I'm gonna read them. I swear.
All right, so they didn't put it under country, so let's see. Oh God, my wife's watching football again.
Robbie Mac, they were saying that there was one in the UFO box. They had like a pretty good discount code this month for Filament 1.
Wow, that actually looks pretty cool, man.
I missed Mike Wiley. Sorry, Mike. Welcome.
Let me see. Oh, no, not that screen. Let me pull it over. Here we go. For those of y'all who haven't seen it, there it is, Chris.
I love it.
It is. If you just search for layers a lot.
Oh, my God. That is so funny.
That is awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, I got to get off of screen share.
Silicone beds on any printers? I have had no experience with that as of yet.
Silicone beds? I don't know. I'll let you know in a few weeks.
Awesome.
Silicone heaters. Bed or heater? I don't know about a silicone bed.
I'm guessing heater.
Not sure how that would work because I don't think anything would stick to that.
I don't know if y'all can see that or not, man. That thing looks really cool.
That is awesome.
That's the Soul Skull off of Thingiverse. Printed, and it's hard to see, but it's printed in Vertigo Galaxy Gray or Vertigo Gray or whatever it is.
I need to get some of that.
It's friggin' awesome.
So I don't know if my camera's. Can you guys see that? You see that, Benji?
Yes.
Maybe I'll just punch it up like this. So that was the Benji that came off Friday night's live stream that everybody was calling Shifty. And in fact, Ron Floyd Ron Floyd went as far as saying, "I've seen better with a 3D pen by a sightless creator." So I just wanted to share Benchy 2 with you guys because I started another one. And first I want to show you how amazing the bottom started. And then I don't really know what happened.
Wow.
It is amazing as far as I'm concerned because it still looks like a bench. And the only thing I can think of was because I had the lamp over here. Maybe it was growing towards the light. I don't know, but it is. So I made a few more tweaks today. I readjusted my acceleration. I turned the current up a little bit more. I tightened the belts, which could have had a lot to do with it too. So I don't know. Right now, I ran through the extruder calibration, and it's I don't know. It's so close that I don't want to mess with it. You know, like I told it to extrude 100 out of 150 mark, and I ended up with like 50.08. So I'm not really going to mess with that. Even though this Benchy, I actually had extrusion turned up to 450% because it was leaving gaps. So I don't know if the extruder was slipping. So I turned its current up today too. Yeah. That's fun with Benchy right there.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
3D Guster said it got in a hurricane, so that's the Hurricane Michael Benchy.
Well, it's going up here with all the rest of them because it is a work of art as far as I'm concerned.
Well, for some of you didn't get on my Saturday stream, FEMA finally got back to me Friday evening late, and they will be coming tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So,
they're gonna buy you a whole new house.
Let's see. You know, they may drive up and go, "Holy crap! The hurricane did that."
Look at all this damage, sir. Let us just write you a huge check.
It's really funny. Somebody asked me the other day, and they asked me in a Twitter private message, "Man, do you really live in a mobile home?" I'm like, dude, I live in a 1980 mobile home. I don't just live in a mobile home. I live in an old mobile home.
What's wrong with living in a mobile home?
No, they just, I guess they thought I was like putting that on to be part of the persona of living in, you know.
Oh, like it's your online character?
Yeah. I'm like, no, dude, what you see is what you get. That's pretty much it.
Priscilla and I were talking the other day with the $1.6 billion lotto. And I said, you know, and she said, you know, I would just be happy paying off our bills. And I said, well, but I would want to just like do like random crazy stuff, like buy a playground for the school, you know, just like crazy stuff like that. And I said, then I'd have to like pay off everybody's mortgage. I said, for Walter, I'd just buy him a new mobile home.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, man. I mean, really and truthfully, and I don't know, Chris, you bought your house, and I mean that's pretty much where you live, right? That you bought it before you got married, and that's just come on, baby, really? It's not that bad. She's watching football, man. She is cussing at the damn TV. I guess the Bucks changed their quarterback, and they're doing better now against the Bengals, and she's a Bengals fan. So, you know, it's really funny. We have a boy that's from here that plays for the Bengals now. We have a boy that's from here that plays for the Philadelphia Eagles as well. But back to that. I went the other day, and I was actually looking at new mobile homes because I told my wife, I said, you know, the kids are almost out. We're almost done. Maybe we could get us a nicer, you know, home. And it was sad because on my way home, I was talking to her, and I said, you know, when we first started, y'all can't hear her? I swear I don't know how you can't hear her.
Oh, I can hear her.
Oh, can you hear her? But I told her, I said, I don't, you know, when we were first starting out, we were looking at, okay, well, the kids will love this and the kids will love that. And the other day I caught myself in the bathroom going, okay, when I'm 60, I'll be able to get in and out of that shower.
At least you have to worry about stairs.
Right.
But you know, Walter, I look and I go, oh, well, tomorrow I might be able to get in and out of that shower. So hey, you know, whatever.
But Chris, you say that, but there's actually 2-story double wides.
Really? I've never seen one.
They have one close to here. It's about 6 miles from here. It's a 2-story double wide on stilts.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's down in a coastal community.
Yeah.
It was put there in 2006 after Hurricane Dennis came through here and flooded everybody out. And they made all the mobile homes that were getting replaced be put up on pilings, stilts. And so they bought a 2-story mobile home and put it on stilts.
How tall of stilts?
What are they? 12 to 15 feet. It depends on where you live.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Jim Walters' homes used to have those stilt homes. And I've seen pictures of mobile homes on stilts, but I thought that was just a redneck, look what I did type thing.
No, if you come here, there's, you know how they have the retirement communities, right? Well, this is a coastal community that's been there since I can remember. When I was 5, I used to ride my bike there because after my mother and dad got divorced, we actually moved over into a mobile home in Shell Point. Well, across the street was Paradise Village, which is what they called it. It's still called, now it's called the Villages at Shell Point. And you're like, okay, whatever. It's still Paradise Village to me. But it's a gated community, and it's not retirement community, but it was a coastal community, but it was a trailer park. Basically what it was, with canals down between the different streets of trailers. So, I mean, a lot of those trailers have been there a long time, but when they came back after Dennis, I think there's about 8 of them in there on stilts right now, including a 2-story one.
Wow. Just so you know, every neighborhood, every retirement neighborhood in the state of Florida is going to change their name to something with the Villages in the front of it because of the Villages.
Because of the Villages, which is ridiculous.
Because it's like the #1 sought place to go as a retiree. So like I'm getting invitations to bid on all of these projects that are down around Sarasota and stuff that all have the Villages in the name now. So, but not associated with the actual Villages.
Right.
I just thought I'd throw that in there. Didn't really have anything to do with it. I just wanted to share the fact that I knew something.
Nice. I'll catch up on chat. So Stephen Lightspeed is asking, you're asking about Z offset changing using the MMU2. I have not experienced that, and I'm not sure what would make that happen. But I have not seen that yet. Let's see what I'm way behind here. I missed you. Matt, he says I missed him. In the mind of Matt is here. Probably did.
Robbie Mack, actually, the people that live there call themselves the villagers. We do refer to them as village people. And if you guys ever want some good reads, just search news story on the Villages. There's all kinds of fights and people being arrested for having hanky panky in the bushes. These are all retirees. Ask Uncle Ron; he knows all about it. I mean, not like that way, but like he's familiar with the area. His dad lives down here.
I watched a news article one time. Okay, now these are older citizens, but the article that I read was straight up out of a porn novel. It really was. It was crazy.
About the Villages, you mean?
Yes.
Oh yeah, all the time. Like we have 3 different places that they refer to as the squares. And it's an area built by the developer that, there's a movie theater and restaurants and stuff, but in the middle of it, there's a big square area where the residents gather to dance and listen to music and stuff. And like they'll save chairs, and you're not allowed to save chairs, and that'll cause fist fights. But there's been arrests made where they're sneaking off in the bushes. And a couple was arrested for having relations on top of one of those transformer cabinets in the bushes. Yeah. I mean, these are like 70-year-old people. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Chris, I'm sorry we interrupted, but
no, that's fine. I'm just kind of scanning through. Shane from Proofs of Research is here. I don't know who that guy is. I should probably follow him on Twitter.
He's the guy that needs to come to Orlando Maker Faire.
Are we going to have a Prusa representative at Orlando Maker Faire?
We're working on it.
Cool.
The ball has been put in motion. It's just something that Prusa has to decide on. I want him there. Orlando Maker Faire wants him there. Shane wants to be there. So everybody right now, go to Twitter and tweet to Prusa3D at Prusa3D. You don't have to tag Joseph himself. He doesn't need that aggravation, but tag Prusa and tell him that Prusa should be at Orlando Maker Faire.
Act Pupil is here. Hello.
Shane's official reply? I don't know.
Motorhead Mitch.
Well, I said, even if Prusa doesn't want to come and set up, they could at least send Shane, and he could just hang out at my booth. I wouldn't make him wear a Fun King shirt. He can wear a Prusa shirt.
Clyde is here. Welcome, Clyde. And there's probably more people that I missed, but what are you going to do? Ricky Tanner is here. I guess I should work on something, huh?
I don't know. Why?
So I'm going to admit that I'm kind of having a hard time adjusting over to the Duet. Like I go to do things that I'm used to doing on all the other printers, and then it doesn't work the same way. And I get a little irritated, and then I find out that Duet just has a button to do what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I experienced the same thing with the Duet. But I don't know. I don't have enough experience with it yet to really say one way or the other. But it's a change. It's definitely something that takes some getting used to. But I don't want to say a whole lot. But I have moved on to other types of boards.
Ooh.
And if you think the Duet's different, just wait.
My question is, and I'm not going to dig too far into it.
We can't hear you.
Have you found anything better?
Get closer to your mic.
Oh, I'm not going to dig too far into it, but have you found anything better?
Yeah, you don't have to say what it is yet, Chris, but
well, it's all 32-bit, I can tell you that. I haven't found anything better. I wouldn't use the term better. The Duet's probably the easiest 32-bit board that I've used, the easiest interface, the easiest to use. But I think it's because of the way Duet does it, the features aren't there yet. So, but I think there is a perfect mix of using the Duet and using different firmware that you could put together to make it really cool. But then you're going to lose out on that Duet GUI. So again, I haven't made a decision yet what is the best way to go, but Duet's awesome. I mean, it is really cool, but it is kind of pricey. I mean, you can get into 32-bit for less than $50 if you really try.
Oh yeah.
My brother James is in the house.
Hello, James. I haven't talked to him in a while either.
Hey, James, Chris is on Twitter now.
I am on Twitter. John, any guesses on the release for the Ender 3 review? It's somewhere in November, but I want to say it's like 2 weeks out probably. And awesome. Mike Wiley won a Christmas Basement shirt today on the stream. He's going to wear it to Murph.
Nice. I've gotten to the point where that's all I wear. Not just Chris Riley shirts, but I should have just left it at that. That was awesome. No, but just 3D printing related shirts.
Yeah. It's Chris Riley 3D on Twitter. Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, it's not at Chris Riley. That's the other 3D printing Chris Riley.
Yeah, not at Chris Riley. That guy's probably really irritated. At Chris Riley 3D.
I don't know. He's actually a pretty good sport, and the fact that he's actually into 3D printing works out.
That's good.
He gets tagged into stuff that he shouldn't have, but I think we should just start tagging him in everything and make him really, really active in the community, whether he likes it or not.
I think me and him should be forced to have a conference call once a week just to sync up.
I missed it.
The other Chris Riley on Twitter.
Yeah. Did you follow him on Twitter?
Not yet. I should.
You totally should.
Because I posted one day and said Chris Riley's not on Twitter, and he actually messaged me and said I am on Twitter. Not you.
Techie Dad is asking, have you thought of a sliding spool holder across the top area to help with bed distance? And the answer to that is yes. So awesome on you. Kudos to you for considering that. And originally my thought was to have another stepper motor up there and have the spool actually follow the x-axis. But I think when it gets like, moving crazy, that it would be too hard to move that spool that way. So what I'm thinking about doing is setting up a secondary carriage up there. And when the X moves the 1200 millimeters, the spool only moves 600 millimeters. So, but then I'm thinking not to actually put the spool up there, but to have a piece of Bowden tubing going up there. So it's really only just moving Bowden tubing. So we'll see how that comes in the next revision. Because right now all I'm worried about is making this dumb thing work so I can take it to Orlando Maker Faire.
Justin 3D, I have tried 32-bit Marlin. It is hard to set up. It's not hard to set up. You have to learn how to set it up. And I did it like 3 days ago. The current beta version. The beta version seems to work just as well as 1.1.9. So if that helps, I have tried it. Shane, Chris Riley on Twitter. I need to call Satan and see if hell froze over. This is mostly about, yes, Tom, it is. Chris Riley 3D is me. That is, you can tweet at me, whatever that is.
I just don't even sound right. You can tweet at me.
Yeah, tweet at me. I'm probably not saying it right.
No, it's just tweet me. Just
tweet me. Now that sounds a little weird.
Just tweet me. So today is my wife's birthday, for those that don't know and who might possibly care. But we went yesterday to Jacksonville to the air show to see the Blue Angels fly, and it was magnificent. But I think they actually flew twice yesterday, because they flew and then they went a second time because they went to fly over the Florida-Georgia game. They went to do a flyover, and then they came back and did a few more maneuvers before they landed. So we actually got to watch them fly twice yesterday, which is awesome. But there was an F-16 out there that was they ripped that thing by a couple of times, and they won't break the speed of sound anymore because of the damage it does. But he came by fast. I mean, and it was so funny because they're like, he's going to come by this pass very fast. And it was like 500 miles an hour, which is very fast.
Yes.
But not compared to what that jet can do, And then they said something about how he was going to bring it in slow. They said they're going to make the jet fly by really slow. No more than 120 miles an hour, which I think is funny to be slow. But the thing came in hanging like this as it came across the field. And it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. So, but it was a long day, and it was freezing cold out there because of the wind. And we didn't bring jackets, so I had to buy the family these unbelievably expensive sweatshirts. So now that's like the big thing. Zach was like, I'm so cold. So I buy him this $40 sweatshirt. And now keep in mind, I used to make shirts and sweatshirts. Those sweatshirts to buy wholesale are about $8 on the high side. And then it just had an iron-on it, and it's like, oh, But so then he's all warm, and then he's like, I'm hungry. And I said, eat the sweatshirt, kid. But it was good. It was a good day. We had a good time.
Happy birthday, Priscilla.
She's not here right now, but thank you.
Yep.
She's out shopping, trying to find Xander. Xander wants to be one of the characters from Fortnite for Christmas. And so she's out trying to find him a white suit.
Can you explain to me what that is?
What, Fortnite?
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, so children of today, Walter, play these things called video games.
Is that what that is?
In 1972,
a legend was born.
Let's go back to the days of Pong.
That's about the last time I played video games.
I started playing Fortnite with Xander when he first started playing it, but I didn't really like it. It's too many buttons for me. I'm too old for that crap. It's just too many things to remember to put. I like Minecraft. It's nice and slow. I can kill some zombies. It's all good.
They have zombies in Minecraft?
If you turn on survival mode, they do.
Oh, I never knew that.
Facebook and Twitter are going to merge, and YouTube. You twit face. I like
twit face.
Casa del Wacos. I always say your username because there's multiple Tonys, but there are boards that are the exact same size as a Mega, so they will just go. The ramp shield just goes right on top, so you don't have to mess with any of that. That's really handy. Chad Williams, that is the second or third time somebody has mentioned that today, and I have not, but I totally want to. So and for you guys, you're probably up on stuff more than I am, but there's some sort of module you can put on your printer now that turns your nozzle into the bed level sensor.
Really?
Yeah.
Without it being, like Lulzbot where it has to touch the screws in the corner.
I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet, but from what people say in the chat, it sounds amazing. And it works with E3D Hotends.
It's got to be some kind of piezo, though, right?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's piezo, but they call it's like Orion or I don't remember the name. But definitely want to try it.
I don't know if y'all used to have them, those, the little electronic kits you get, and you had that piezo radio or something that came with it, and had no batteries, but the piezo would make it work. Something. The crystal radio, not a crystal radio, but it was a piezo something.
30-bit only supported Marlin 2.0. So yes, that is correct, James. So 2.0 and up will support 8-bit and 32-bit, but it's kind of tricky how they did it. So in order to keep the code that they've already worked on for however many years, they implemented hardware abstract layers to emulate that 32-bit board, kinda, so that they could keep the 8-bit AVR. So that makes things a little different, and the setup is kind of difficult, but there'll be a video on it, so hopefully I can walk you through it.
I have a quick question to ask, not to get everybody derailed, but can you guys see that print?
Yep.
Hold on, no, I can't. Hold on.
I've checked my calibration. My extruder is calibrated properly. All my axes are moving the right amount that they're supposed to, but it looks like it's massively under extruding.
Did you calibrate at the top of the extruder, or did you below the nozzle?
Top of the extruder. I've never tried to do it below the nozzle.
Okay, but that's not. Is it a Bowden system or direct drive?
No, direct drive.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
I mean, it's got a piece of Bowden tubing sticking out of it, but that's just to keep it from rubbing.
I was just saying because on a Bowden setup you can do it at the extruder motor. And
I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, so you're actually putting it through the nozzle and calibrated that way.
Yeah, because the that first benchy was massively under extruded, the first shifty, and then the second one, it started out like when it was doing the solid layers, it was a mesh, it was a grid, and I upped the extrusion to 450% on the panel due. But yet when I just checked the calibration, it's pushing within like 0.08 of what it's supposed to.
Huh. Wow.
Could something in the slicer? Could I have something set wrong in the slicer?
Could be a million different things. I mean, filament size, ratio.
Oh, let me check to make sure that I set the filaments. I think I remember doing it, but I might have done it in a different slicer.
Yeah,
maybe it's still set to 3 millimeter.
Yeah, all your flow rates, I would start at like 0.45.
Say that again.
All your flow rate settings, I'd start at like 0.45 if you haven't set all that.
That's a lot of settings.
Yeah, there is a lot of settings. Clyde's looking for suggestions on a project that if he tears apart his A8. I've been kind of looking at a whole bunch of different projects, trying to find one that I like. I really want to do the Hypercube, but there's like 4 or 5 other ones that I'd like to give a try. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with. Ben Craig stopped in for a moment. Hello, Ben.
No, it's set to 1.75.
3D Printing Kid, Mikey, the giveaway went well. It was a lot of fun. That's the first stream I've ever done that I didn't have a project, that I didn't have something to do. It was kind of weird.
I bet. Now, dadgummit, filament settings. What the crap? I'm sorry. Give me. I'm trying to slice a model here to do, and for some reason, I forgot how to do the color. How do you do the colors on the filaments again over to the right?
I just clicked on the little color thing and it.
Yeah, I found it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I knew how to do it. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, and I wish they'd change that. Because it changes it in the printer setting, and
yeah,
and you can't save that. I wish it would just like change it momentarily or something, or in the filament setting. How about that?
Yeah.
Clyde, there's one that I saw the other day. So I don't remember if somebody in the chat showed it to me or what, but it's an existing piece of IKEA furniture that's just like a cubby, like a storage cubby thing you hang on the wall. But somebody has made all the parts to turn that into a 3D printer standalone, and they come in these really wild colors. And one of them is like Prusa orange. So I really want to build one of those just because I think it's ridiculous. I think it would be an awesome build.
Okay. Why?
3MF files and multicolor? No, I have not. I don't know that I'd even attempted. Yeah, Pipers are cool.
Well, what the crap? Now it won't let me slice.
My MK3 needs its own house. I do love my MK3. I can't lie. It's over there churning out multicolored stuff right now. That's the only problem with the MMU. I mean, it's a little finicky. I've had a hard time getting it to work, but I was really anxious about 3D prints before. Like they take 12 hours. Oh no. Oh no. MMU print. I mean, like 30, 40 hours. I mean, for very small prints.
Yeah.
I don't know if I showed Walter or Glenn. I don't know if I showed you my 5-color maker coin, but these take 8 hours to print.
Eight hours.
There you go.
No, 6.5 hours. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
5 colors.
It's painful.
Yeah, it is. Considering this was 8 hours, you know, this size. Couldn't you just imagine doing this in multicolor?
Oh yeah, well, it's like that. We were talking about that bowl, the two-colored bowl.
Yeah.
I don't even want to take a guess how long that took.
Yeah. Yeah. But there, I mean, and he's right. He said the transitions take forever, and he's right. It's the changing of the filament that takes forever. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not so much. Yes, I know, Shane from Prusa. I understand. It's not so much the wipe tower or anything, because you're going to get that anytime you change colors through a single nozzle. It's 10 to 15 seconds to change filament.
Yep. Fun inside the country basement. That's true, Matt. We should have you as a guest one of these days. John's getting a mini Delta on Tuesday. Excellent. Those are fun little machines, especially for the very minimal amount of money you have to pay for one.
Can you tell me, Chris, because you probably have done this 1,000 times. I went in, I set my filaments for my multicolored snake, and I changed the color so that I could look at it and preview and say, yes, that's what I wanted. And now I slice now and export G-coder disabled. I can't export the G-code.
Just after you change the colors and stuff?
Yeah, I went and changed the color of the third filament is all I did. Let me try this again.
It's removed your printer setting somehow.
That's I don't understand. Print settings, printer settings. It's under the the print settings are still here.
Try saving it as another name. The printer, like, you know, MMU Walter or something. Roy Holly, I would have given some of these away, but there's only one in existence.
No, that did not do it.
Huh. You have hit a bug. How would the Palette 2 compare print time wise? I don't know yet, but we're going to find out whenever they ship one. That's going to be really interesting. I mean, I've seen them working. I don't have any experience physically with a palette, but the way that it has to do the math to figure out how long that filament has to be and all that stuff, I don't know. I don't know how that's all going to work, but we'll find out.
Shane from Prusa. Now, when I opened it, it did open up and say there was an upgrade, and I clicked OK, but I haven't done anything since then except for slice the snake, set my stuff. So do I need to restart this and do it again? And Chris, we talked about that a couple of times on my stream about the Palette 2. Is it the Palette 2 Plus or 2 Pro or whatever? Palette 2 was Palette 2, right?
Yep, Palette 2.
It's got to be faster. It has to print faster than what we have now.
Yeah, I would figure that. And I really want to see it in action, you know, because there's a lot of questions, like there's a lot of spots in my mind that are empty where this is how this work should go. I mean, I don't, because with their tool, their canvas tool, and how it's going to lay out that print and then decide where to splice, I'm a little befuddled on how that's actually going to work. But
okay, so let me ask you this: you have to use their slicer right now, right? I mean, you can't.
I think so.
Yeah, so you can't use any other like multi-material slicer or anything like that in order to print that.
Right.
Wow.
And there's talk of that being a paid-for subscription service.
At some later date, though, see, once you do that, once it's once they close that off, and you know you're locked in with that Palette 2 of their own, then yeah, I mean, it would be a residual income stream for them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Ron, I'm not sure, and I want to test that if I ever stop printing other stuff. I want to do like 3 of these at once, because I think I can fit 3 of these and then a wipe object on the build plate all at once. So this one took 8 hours or whatever. I'm hoping I can do like 3 in 14 or something. I don't know.
They said Palette doesn't own the software. He doesn't think. Oh. The main slice function will always be free, but you pay for added features.
Mm. So all the features that I want to use will be paid for.
All the ones that you want and need to use to do great prints will be paid for. I don't know that. I mean,
yeah, just teasing. I have no idea.
I have no earthly clue about that.
I'm just glad it wasn't $800 like it was before.
Well, I do want to go to, where'd you go? There you are.
Yeah, whoever designed this extruder didn't leave much room to be able to see what the heck's going on under there. I don't know what I should change on there. Maybe change the wind mouth. But yeah, you can't see much going on.
The wind mouth. I love that phrase. Yeah, Robert. We'll see. I mean, those purge blocks are kind of crappy, but I do like the wipe into object, the purge into object. That makes a really cool benchy, I have to say.
So I just realized that when a new Spider-Man outfit, that's cool. I just come here, you can show everybody. You have to come stand right here though. I just realized that when I set all of this up, it defaulted back to there's Spider-Man. Nice. It defaulted back to just the standard PLA profile. And I just changed it to my AIO Robotics PLA profile, which I use for all PLA. And it seems to be better.
Good.
I also turned the speed down. It was set to print at 60 millimeters a second, but it sure felt faster than that. And maybe this printer just can't do that speed.
Carl said he needs to hang upside down in the FK1 as Spider-Man.
He can fit in there. I couldn't get him on the bed. By the way, the bed will be here tomorrow. I'm so excited. But yeah, if for me to print a 1-to-1 size Zach, I would have to print his body and then his head separately. But he can fit inside the frame. Not that I would let him do that.
Man, this thing is going to take forever. I know it is.
Yeah, that's something that's really, Chad Williams was saying that his FT5 is a lot faster than the AA, even with the same slice file. And that is something that's really hard to convey on video, I have found. To explain why that would be.
It's also, I mean, how would you measure that? Like, how would you calibrate that?
Right. It would be, I mean, it takes a more brilliant mind than me, I can tell you that, because I've tried to figure out a way to convey what's going on, but it's not easy to explain. I've tried.
I mean, I guess on a bed this size, I could make a, like this, have it come down 60 millimeters and then go across 1,000 millimeters and back up 60 millimeters and use a stopwatch and get close. I mean, obviously if it's running 120 millimeters a second when you tell it 60, it would be obvious. But I mean, otherwise, I don't really know how you would measure that.
Yeah, and you would have to have a set amount because it's only going to travel that speed in the middle because you have ramp up and ramp down.
True, acceleration and deceleration, right?
Yeah.
Huh. So and Carl, no, the table leaf is just laying there. It's heavy. I think that'll work, buddy. I think that'll work just fine.
No pants. I mean, I got him some great sweatpants.
It's something for now.
Something for now.
I mean, if it's something that is going to work out eventually, then we'll buy you a white suit. This kid wants me to spend $100 on a Halloween costume.
I'm sorry.
It's something that he can wear as cosplay later, but
I just purchased Schrodinger, Luby's cat. That's that multi-material cat that Luby's got on Cultus. And that's what I'm slicing right now, is the body of the cat to print in 3 different colors. And
3D Gustner said happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
The thing is,
Oh, that's nice.
the size of the model is 108 by 138 by 159. I think this is going to take forever. Estimated printing time is 2 days, 6 hours, and 12 minutes.
I believe it.
Ah.
Brian Vine's the easiest way to tell. And that, yeah, speed moves at X and slicer, but it's limited by Y, the firmware. Yeah. And that it's just, you know, when you say 60 millimeters a second, when you throw a number on it, then people think, oh, that's how fast it moves. Well, that's not the case. There's a whole bunch of factors in there. And what firmware you're using. I mean, not all firmware uses jerk values.
So Carl Schoenman said that short belt seems to have a large amount of backlash. And I'm not, the only short belt that I technically have is the Y, but it's tight. And I'm not sure how you would see that. So if you can explain, I'd appreciate it.
He's talking about that belt that is right. I don't even know which one it is, but it's vertical.
This right here?
Nope. Closer to you.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can see a belt backlash on that.
Yeah, I guess it does have a little bit of flop in it, but if I get it too tight, then it'll bind.
Okay. That I think that's what he's seeing though.
That's possible, and something I didn't consider. So good eye.
What belt is that, Glenn?
It's the X motor to the drive shaft that runs the 2X belts.
Gotcha.
This is no normal printer.
Wipe into a fourth maker coin. The object has to be a certain size. I'm definitely going to give that a try though. Ben Hawk 3D Proto is here. Hello, Ben. If you haven't seen Ben's video on his new makerspace, he has a really cool place for printers now.
Yeah, every time I see somebody post pictures or videos of new makerspace, I want to tear mine apart and do it again. All right, let's see how that is.
Later, Mad Mike. Thanks for coming. Fernando is here.
Definitely less slop. What's up, Fernando?
Jake from State Farm said that's such a basic printer.
You know, X, Y, Z. We've seen it.
Hey, Glenn. Now, I know that you would have to buy a small town, but if you cleaned out your workshop, you'd have one heck of a makerspace. You know that, right?
I wouldn't put it out there. It was a consideration I had before we rented that space to Grant. I was going to take the apartment over and use it as my makerspace.
Right.
But I don't want my printers out there while I'm in here.
Oh, I got you.
So then I would have to have 2 of every printer.
I'm sure Gracilla wouldn't mind you moving out there for a while.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Miss Gracilla.
I don't think she's up here anymore.
How many rolls of painter's tape does it take to cover the FK1 bed?
What's that?
How many rolls of painter's tape does it take to cover the FK1 bed?
I'll let you know when the actual bed gets here.
So what's the bed on that going to be, Glenn?
Physically, it's going to be 16 inches by 48 inches, which is just over 1,200 by 400, which is what the printing capacity is.
It's PEI?
It'll be a PEI bed, yeah, thanks to Printed Solid. Printed Solid is laser cutting me a custom 16 by 48 inch sheet of PEI, which is going to be fun to install.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I'm not going to put the PEI on until after I put the heater on the bed, because I'll have all kinds of other issues. Nothing will stick.
Yeah.
It takes all the rolls of painter's tape to cover the bed of the FK1.
Yeah. Sherwin-Williams is going to get tired of seeing you.
I had a roll of painter's tape that was like 4 inches wide. I don't know, but it was the biggest one they make, and it's really handy when it gets that wide.
Yeah, that's what's actually on the bed right now is 4 inch. And it's not the widest they make. It's the widest you can get at like Home Depot and stuff. But
Yeah.
you can actually order it up to 12 inches wide.
Oh, nice. I need to get some of that. That's actually probably kind of hard to pull off the spool.
Yeah, I have well, here, let me see if I can't find a roll of it.
Get 3M as a sponsor.
I started to get scared, man. I did the I'm doing the multicolored cat, and it started to do the outline, and I'm like, what the crap is that? Because it wasn't the outline of the snake. And I go, oh yeah, I thought I was doing the snake, but it's not. It's the cat.
Here's 18-inch transfer tape.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Which kind of works. I've tried it. The paper one, this is the plastic one. The paper one works better than this for bed, but it's so hard to lay down smooth.
Oh yeah.
Because it doesn't let any air escape from underneath it when you lay it down. And then here's 12-inch regular mask.
Yeah, that's the biggest I've got for doing transfers is the 12-inch regular mask.
But it works pretty good for lining the bed, but you do have to use glue stick with it.
3D Gustner says you should use your phone or a module to measure acceleration on your carriage.
Use what?
Your phone or an ESP or an MPU module.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know. I don't know what that would give you. I mean, it would like even an accelerate, a gyro or something like that. I don't know what information you would glean from that, but
I'm gonna have to bring in the Mythbusters with their high-speed camera.
There you go.
So I layer shifted this thing really bad when I loosened that. When I loosened the motor, it let the belt slack, and then it shifted really bad again. I'm just not meant to get a benchy off of this thing.
I've had that day before.
But bed adhesion is amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Glenn, you suck at printing Chris Riley's.
I do, I know.
Chris Riley's.
Well, I will be the first one to admit that this is very not disappointing, but very discouraging, the amount of trouble that I'm having. But when I lay down on my pillow to go to sleep at night, I understand that, one, I've never built my own printer from scratch before. And two, nobody else ever built this printer before.
That's correct.
So, and I mean, I'm learning a brand new board. I'm learning new everything. So I'm fine with it.
Chris, do you have no projects today, right?
Oh, I probably do. I'm just being lazy.
Oh, I hear you.
I probably got a half a dozen things over there I need to be working on. Like I said, this is like the first weekend that I've had free in ages.
Well, I will tell you, we're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
And I don't know. Did you see the response we got from David Hewlett today on the email?
Yeah, dude, I was stoked that he wrote back.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was pretty cool. I included him last week, and I guess we just kept replying to the same email.
Well, that was my bad. I just pulled up the first email that had anything to do with the Fun in the Country basement, and I just did a reply to all, and I thought it was only going to you two. I didn't know that I had David in there, but so what?
Oh no, I just thought it was cool that he took the time to write back.
Well, and now we have some insider information. So when we see this new project, we'll be like, we knew about that.
We knew about that while he was doing it.
I caught some of that interview after the fact. He seems like a really cool guy.
He does, man. He really does. Down to earth. And on all of these, we have before and afters, right? Well, he was running late on the interview. So I waited until he got here. I did not start early. So when he got here and we started talking, right? We're talking for like 5 minutes or whatever. And I said, okay, I'm going to start now. He goes, oh, I thought we were going already. No. And then after the thing, we talked for another 20 minutes after we got off the interview. It was really good. It really was. Really, really gracious guy.
Walter and I both have the Monoprice Mini Delta.
We do. I actually like mine. I need to get it back out and play with the slicer settings on it. Yeah. Because to date, I have printed one model on it.
I really like mine. I mean, it's a cool little machine. I like to watch it work, and it's so the form factor. There's something about some printers or machines in general, just the way that they're done and the way they look are pleasing. You know, and the Monopress Mini Delta is one of those machines. It's just kind of all in one deal. Got the handle on top, boom, ready to go.
For the money, it's an excellent printer to tote around with you. If you ever get in a place where you go, you know, I may want to show off what 3D printers are about. That's an excellent one to have because it's all in one. You grab it by the handle. The power pack is a brick, so it's, you know, easy to pack up, and you just go. I mean, it's really, really a decent printer for the money.
I'm gonna get one of those set up for Mitch. We'll get it running on batteries so he can walk around with that instead.
Well, I'm not too pleased with this color.
So the infill actually looks like it was printing fairly decent on this until I loosened that motor up and it skipped. But
you know, Tony Ryan said that Minchie's probably too small for that printer. It can't do anything that small.
Yeah, I've only used Slick 3R. Somebody was irritated by Slick 3R again the other day, which I still think is kind of funny. But I only use that. I've only used it on the Mini. I've never tried Kira. And the Mini is definitely a lot louder than you would expect for a machine that size.
It's right now, it is actually the loudest machine I own.
Wow.
Since I upgraded to TiVo, it's the loudest printer I own.
I hate to say it, but I think my Mark II is the loudest printer I own.
Really?
Yeah.
There's something wrong with it?
No, both of them are loud. It's just that piece of phenolic with those linear bearings and those U-bolts. It's just they're just kind of loud. It's all in the Y carriage, and both of them, they're exactly the same.
Brian asked you, was there any way you think you can quieten it down?
Yeah, so it's got. I had to dig it out of there, but it's aluminum, and then there's like there's plastic parts around it that kind of add to make it resonate. But the rails, it's got dual rails with LMU 88s that run up and down. If you could get in there and even take it apart and grease all those bearings really good, and maybe get things lined up a little better, I think that would help tons. Just doing a little maintenance like that, and then you could probably if you could find some sort of foam or something that was adhesive backed, and you just line the inside of the uprights, I think that would do a lot for it.
Mm.
yeah, my loudest printer is my AM8, and my quietest printer is the E12 because it doesn't work at all, so it's dead silent.
I was thinking to say because the Fun King one has to be really pretty quiet.
Oh, it is super quiet. The loudest thing on here is the part cooling fan, and second is the power supply fan.
Yeah.
So, and if I can figure out, and I know I can figure out a way, but if I can figure out a way to put a Noctua fan as the part cooling fan, I will do it just so this thing is super, super quiet.
Tony Ryan said the MK 2.5 is loud, but I didn't really see a change.
Mine's running in the background right now. They're not that loud.
No, I mean, he said his is loud, or he said it's loud, but I haven't noticed a difference between the 2 and the 2.5 on mine.
Yeah, Gusner, I have a series of different things that I throw down under those MK2s. That does help a lot. You're correct. No, I have had no experience with the A10M mix color, but I have had some experience with G-Tech color mixing, and just don't do it. Don't do it.
I've had some experience with G-Tech color mixing as well. Mm-hmm. I got it in the mail from Chris Riley. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Don't do it. It's probably way better than the printer that I had, but I have not had a good experience with it. But I do like G-Tech. I have to say that. G-Tech actually does have chat support, and you can buy replacement parts, which that's kind of a step above some of the other ones. So.
Matt says his ANET A8 sounds like a train. And I never had that with mine. My ANET A8 was not that loud.
My bed bearings are worn out, which is what's so loud on mine.
Oh, I got you.
So I need to replace the bearings under the bed, which I'm going to put the MK2 bed on it. Whatever it is, the MK, whatever off my MK2, now that I have the one for the MK25.
One problem I have is that everything now gets compared to, say, a Duet board or the MK3 for quietness. And yeah, I don't have anything that's close to those.
Yeah, it's hard when you set a new standard
for quiet.
Justin wants to know if the E12 is an oversized paperweight, and at this point, it's actually an IC3D filament holder. It just displays my IC3D boxes in the back, which, by the way, IC3D is a proud sponsor of the FK1 project. But I actually bought a GT 2560 from Chris, and that's my plan, is to put that board in there. It's got a bad board, and GearBest won't send me one, and then come to find out that they thought I was asking for a whole printer to replace it. I'm like, no, I just need the main board, but the communication is so hard with them. Yeah. So I'm just going to do my own thing, unfortunately.
We're a little over 1 hour in. I just wanted to mention Walter at Kuntry3D. If you're not subscribed to him, definitely go check him out. And Glenn at FunKing3D, Glenn and Xander put out all kinds of content. Definitely go check him out. The links are in the descriptions of this stream.
And I do want to say, if you're not already following Chris Riley 3D on Twitter, he is now there. Get over and follow the man.
Now I got to figure out what to tweet.
And just constantly tweet Chris emojis or GIFs. Either one of those will be fine.
Excellent.
We need to make it. You know what? We need to catch a good Chris Riley GIF from one of his videos and see if we can post it so we can use it on Twitter.
That's right.
Just go find the one where the motor, where the acrylic snaps and the motor flies up.
Oh yeah.
Almost hits you in the eye.
Yep.
Yes, Brian Vines. Chris is finally on Twitter at Chris Riley 3D.
Xander is now a twit. You are correct.
What did I just hear?
Chris Riley's on Twitter. Xander thought he would be on Twitter before you, Chris.
Well, he's probably close.
Now that's weird. My part cooling fan just shut off. That doesn't make any sense.
It's in your G code, man. You did it in the G code.
No, I'm pretty sure I didn't tell it to shut off my fan. I'm going to override it.
Oh, that's messed up, Robbie Mac.
No, it's still saying 100%, but it's not running. Maybe it died.
You can link your Twitter to YouTube, so every time you post, it will go to Twitter automatically. Huh? Interesting.
You sure can. It'll automatically tweet out to everybody, "Hey, Chris Riley released a video."
I'm gonna have to do a Twitter walkthrough with you guys one of these days.
Yeah, you'll have to do it with somebody else, dude. I mean,
Noctua fans saw on Facebook a lot of people are switching to this other fan, this MF fan. I don't know. Those Noctua fans are pretty impressive, but I don't think the CFM is there. I mean, I think it's enough for Hotends fans, of course, right? But I don't know. I've never seen that.
If that MF401 blah 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 fan is the one I'm thinking of, I think everybody's switching to it because it's like $2 cheaper.
Right.
If it's the one I think it is. But I'm okay. There it goes. I might have a loose connection. The moron who built the wiring harness.
Blame Uncle Ron.
According to the YouTubes, we have 73 watching.
Nice.
Well, that's a lot.
There's a lot.
And no thumbs down yet.
It's all thanks to Chris being here.
It's because Chris is the man.
Yes.
Well, now that I'm on Twitter and everything, you know.
Well, you know, last week on my channel, I think we had 5 views of the video altogether for Fun in Country Basement.
Really?
I think Glenn the week before was like 10. And the last time you were here, it was like 3,000.
Okay, you almost had me there for a second.
Tristan
Matt's
said
making a tutorial on Twitter.
if it's cure that slice apart, then sometimes enabling bridging does this. I'll have to look at that.
Are you using Cura?
Yeah. Well, oh, you missed that because you're not on Twitter.
Well,
I mean, you are now, but you'll have to go back and read every tweet I've ever written, all 5,000 of them.
Man.
When I created the profile in Slicer, Slick 3R, whatever, and I put in the 400 by 1200 millimeter bed, and I add a part to it, it shows up in the middle like it's supposed to. But if I go to move it, it flies off the bed out into the abyss, and I can't drag it back. I can't drag it back to the bed. It skips over to the other side or to the end. It doesn't, like, it can't handle that size bed.
Really? Because, you know, I slice everything for the hang printer in Slick 3R. You know, I did that full-size bar stool, and it seemed to slice it. I mean, it's kind of cross your fingers it doesn't crash because it's so huge, but
this thing just layer skipped massively again. And in fact, it looks like it layer skipped exactly the same way this one did. Oh.
Hey, Chris, I got a question for you.
mm-hmm.
You see how I cut my tubes off here?
Yeah.
Is that something similar to what you have? The short tubes on the back of the multi-material?
I left the tube length the same, but I've actually altered my setup a little bit. Even I posted something on Patreon about how I changed it.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually using I 3D printed some holders for the tube, and I screwed it down to like a piece of plywood.
Oh, I got you.
And then there's another short tube coming off of the spool side, so it has a spot to unwind to.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't show. I left those the same length.
Yeah, I saw somebody did one and they cut theirs off, and then instead of having anything between there and the spools, it just loops in the air. And I'm on my third color change now, or yeah, 1, 2, 3, yeah, third color, and it seems to be working just fine so far.
Cool. Mine hasn't. I've noticed a couple of times if I let the unwound parts just be loose, that sometimes they'll get crossed. They'll actually like tug on each other.
Yeah, I could see that. I could really see that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that it reduces the friction and just the drag on the filament, because I think that's one of the issues that I was having, was that there was just drag on the filament trying to load it.
Yeah, that was a huge issue for me. Trying to figure out, and those spool holders, they're kind of a cool little setup, but rolling that spool, especially a full spool, rolling on those rollers, it's still way more drag than them hanging on something, and pulling it off.
Yeah. And I can see that now. I mean, even with what this is doing now,
mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a big issue with the Bontex pulling it, but I could see that if you have any tension in it whatsoever, when the top gears are trying to pull it, like if you just load it like straight in and it's kind of taut when the first gears grab it, I can see where that would fail miserably.
The tension was actually, it was causing the filament to stop, and then the MMU would just grind a hole in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and that was my biggest issue. And I'm like, oh, okay, spool holder time is over. Time to come up with something else.
Yeah. And I've seen, Tom's, the way he's got his set up with the PTFE tube, that like connected on the wall from his cord box. That's pretty cool. I like that. I really do.
Yeah, I wish I need to order some more of those couplers. I could get really creative with porting tubes into different things. That would be cool. I actually threaded mine in. I took 5 of them and threaded them into wood. No thumbs down, Roy Holly. No thumbs down. That's just something that happens sometimes. Don is here. Hello, Don.
What would cause print to get ripples in the Z-axis? What type of printer?
And it depends how they look. Are they even or are they random? Oh, that MF whatever, that's a Sonon fan. It's 8 decibels louder. Gotcha. That rep box is kind of cool. I wouldn't mind having one, but I definitely have to find someplace to locate it. And it's not that expensive, I don't think, is it?
Like $90, something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. But that's for the unsealed. Then you have to buy the seal kit if you want it sealed.
Oh.
I think it's like $89. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. And then the kit, I forget what the kit is, but it ends up being like $100 to $100 and something dollars. I think $100.
Right on. 10 degree ambient temperature have on your print. I've never. Oh no, it has been like 13C down here before, and I've printed PLA and didn't have any issues. Now, ABS is never going to work, of course, but I don't know about PETG, but I would guess you'd probably be just fine with that as well. Well, I can tell you though, PETG. I have, now that I think about it, I have had issues with ambient temperature, but I was printing at like 230 on this one brand, and I went up to 245, and that fixed the issue. So just go hot, just keep cranking it up, it'll be fine. Acceleration, it's set to 3000 X and Y. And I want to say that Z was 100, and then the extruder was like 25 or something like that. I set it down pretty slow because I was having some serious extruder skip.
Chris Self said they're even on the Piper 1.
Oh, the ripples are even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with Tony Ryan. Check the ripple against the pitch of the lead screw. It could be a bent Z-axis lead screw.
Yeah, and I could show you some close-ups of that if I could find the right model. But I mean, if they are just dead on even, it's that lead screw.
Shane came back in and said the rep cord case is $100 and the seal kit is $40, so $140.
Okay. Yeah, when you have virtual cam, can you transition?
Yes.
Yes. You can use all the same stuff that you use in OBS. So like your Stream Deck and stuff.
Except for sound.
Right.
But now I have to find a focus.
No, Shane, you're good.
So I re-sliced and re-uploaded this file because I used a Cura plugin that's supposed to be able to upload right to Duet, and I'm wondering if that caused the issue.
All right, Chris, speak again so we can see your camera.
Yeah, no, I was trying to focus it, but yeah, that is a lead screw that is bent. So if you can see how consistent that wobble is, that's what you're looking for.
Oh, I think my AM8 does that.
Yeah, I've had a few over the years that does that. There's a model over there that shows you what it doesn't look like, but it's too far for me to reach.
Robbie Mack, it is available at Kmart now. Go quick. Go quick. It's under the purple light specials.
Yeah, I can't find one that's not a screw issue. I don't see one anyway. Here you go. This This is not a lead screw issue, but you can see that inconsistency. That is an accuracy problem on X and Y. But you notice it's not all stair-stepped like the other one was. And this is one of the coolest models ever. We're going to need a bigger benchy. It's the Jaws scene.
Yeah.
I love it.
Glenn, there you go. Full-size bed, Jaws benchy.
No, at this point, I'm going to go get a big hammer and just smash this whole printer into a pile on the floor because it's really pissing me off.
Oh,
Come
man.
on, man. Is it still skipping?
I don't know what it's doing now.
Or I mean the shifting?
I don't know. It didn't shift right away. It was a couple layers in before it shifted.
Huh.
It's time for some pizza, I think.
Hey, there's a zombie Prusa.
Oh, man, I love Zombie Prusa.
How long did that take, really?
40 hours. I don't know, forever. I mean, I don't know. It was over 2 days, I think.
That's the bad thing about these, man.
I know, but now when I have stuff like this, I'm not kidding. And I'm going to switch back so I have the full screen, but I am not kidding you. I actually carried this around like I was a child. I mean, I had it at the kitchen table, you know. It's just so cool. And,
Right?
you know, single color stuff is like, well, I guess that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But man, I seriously, I was like, you know what? We were going out to eat or something. I was like, I'm totally bringing this and I'm putting it on the table while we eat.
I don't know if you watched my stream the other day. I mentioned your DNS stream for Octoprint, the multi using DNS.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome video, by the way. Awesome video. I noticed you did it in August, man, and we just now got that last week. What's up with that?
Yeah, and that's interesting. So I am currently 6 weeks ahead, and that's because so some of those videos were actually done when I was off, when I took the 6 weeks off.
Right.
So I started making videos and piling them up. Because I knew that all this was coming at work.
Right.
So, but some of those videos are done like last week, but I have actually held videos for other videos. And some of them, you're right, like some of them were done in August. So,
well, let me ask you this though. And this is one of my fears because it's not quite as fast as computers, but things change so fast. Do you ever worry, hey, I've got this video sitting on the shelf and then something changes and you go, oh crap, that video is no good?
Yeah, that happens to me quite often. I did the MK3 review quite a while back, and in that review, I happened to mention that the current firmware was such and such, and we jumped 2 levels in between the time I made that video and when it came out.
Right.
Like, you know, and then, you know, in the comments, and it, you know, it's not done because, you know, they're trying to be mean. They just wanted to let me know that I was not on the current firmware, but you know, it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have got printers over there in boxes that I need to do a live stream on that are probably no longer relevant.
Right.
Especially since the Ender 3 came out. The Ender 3 changed everything.
Yeah. And see, I don't even have one. I don't have an Ender 3, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, you ended up parting yours out for your son-in-laws or something?
Yeah, it was his printer. He shipped it to me so we could do that stream, so I didn't have to buy one.
Right. That's right.
So when they came to visit for their couple of weeks, his Ender 3 broke. So he was like, okay, so then something on the one that I had broke. So they just put the two together. He's actually did get the parts from Creality or whoever he bought it from. Mm-hmm. He got the parts to repair it. So I mean, now he's got his Ender 3s, but I've been asked several times, hey, don't you have an Ender 3? How's your Ender 3 doing? I'm like, I don't have an Ender 3.
Tony Ryan, walkthrough of the MMU2. Yeah. we're definitely going to have one. I'm kind of waiting to see what they do with the firmware, because I know that they're going to continue with releases. But during that walkthrough, I'll share all of the pains that I had when I first started.
Man.
Awesome. I'm glad that video helped.
Trolling for Dollar said you could do a live build of an MK1 and he would watch.
Well, I thought that about the MK2, you know, and that's why I put all the questions on the stream. It was like, no, seriously, I really want to build one of these. How do you differentiate in between identical printers? I have 2 Ender 2s and a single Pi USB port. So there's 2 ways you can do it. So I don't remember if Enders have a serial number or not, but you can check that in var log messages. If it does not have a serial number, you can use the dev path attribute. And that is the USB port that you're using. So it's going to be like 1.2, 1.4, something like that. But you can put that in your USB dev file to differentiate. Just don't ever unplug them. So, because it's going to change if you unplug it. And if I realize that I'm just, talking to you through this here. I will screen scrape some stuff and send it to you if that didn't make any sense.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this, Glenn, and you can stop me if I'm wrong. But that is friggin' awesome that he asked that question, and Chris is like, "Oh yeah, if you just go to var logs and blah blah blah, and if you just do this and blah blah blah, then you can do this and blah blah blah." I'd be like, "Hold on, let me go watch my video again."
There are some things like that, though. It's like, I have no clue. I can't remember that. That one, though, the multiple instance one, I get asked so many questions on it as Octoprint changes. That one I actually do remember all about.
I bet you do, man. Glenn had his mic muted because he was talking sweet nothings to the FK1.
Yeah, I was saying angry things. This thing just layer shifted in about the same exact spot. So I'm going to try slicing a different model and see what happens. I'm thinking if I was to slice this, if I went into Slicer, Slick 3R, and I told it had a smaller bed, I should be fine. All right. Sorry, I just had to say that out loud. I got to go reslice this.
Glenn, I don't know how Cura handles that, but are you using the Benchy from Thingiverse, the genuine Benchy?
Yeah, but it's the same one that I've been using forever. Of course, I don't know if I've ever sliced it in Cura before.
Yeah, it has a ton of errors in it by default. Slick 3R can handle it. I don't know if Cura can. I actually fix the Benchy that I print all the time is a fixed job in Mesh Mixer because the original file has so many errors.
All right, let me check that out. I'll be back in just a minute. Thanks.
Yep. I knew he had to, because when I started talking to him, he didn't say anything, and I looked down, his mic was muted. I'm like, yeah, he's talking nice to the FK1.
I didn't even know you were talking to me, Walter, but no, Priscilla was being very supportive and telling me that I'll get it, and I was just saying that it's really pissing me off, but
no, I get you.
It is very possible that it's the migraine today.
And happy birthday again, Miss Priscilla. If she can hear me now, I doubt she can.
Thanks, Walt.
You're welcome. But Glenn, what I said was it was really cool because Chris, somebody, can you hear me? Yeah, you just shake your head. Yeah. Somebody asked him about the multi printers on Octoprint, and he's like, yeah, if you can just check var logs, blah, 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 or check here, blah, 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 off the top of his head. And I'm like, yeah, I'd have to go back and watch my own video if I did that.
That's just basic Linux knowledge. Chris doesn't know that much.
Yeah. It just amazes me, man. I'm always in awe when he does crap.
For me, it's always when he spouts off the G code, like, oh, just put in an M whatever. And all right, I'll be right back.
Tony Ryan says, okay, back to the MMU2, the garage beckons. No, it's not the garage beckoning, man. You can't stand to be away. It's mesmerizing to friggin' watch.
Yeah, it is. I'll stand. That's my new stand there and watch it for sure.
I mean, seriously, I have thought about, we have a big, like, long dresser down the side of our bed that's on my side of the bed. I have thought about taking all my wife's crap off of it, slinging it on the floor, and setting up my MMU2 in there so that it can be in there while I sleep. It's pretty awesome to watch.
There is someone I want to catch up on chat a little bit. Slug Prince, what up, YouTube celebrities? Nice. Ben thinks it's good that I'm back on the stream. Well, it's good to be back. I like being here as much as I can. How many spool holders are at least walk through? Yeah, the spool holders and stuff definitely can do, Tony. Yeah, Chad, that's a trick, getting some of that stuff to work for sure. UUID and Marlin on the internet to get it to the info via USB. I've tried the UUID. The problem is you have to recognize that printer when you plug it in, and the minute you plug it in, Marlin reboots. So it's no good to you. You have to get it at the hardware level. And I've tried to link it up to that UUID, but haven't found a way to do it yet. It would be nice though. Motor current. Yes, I am. Mitch 3D is here. Welcome, Mitch. I am on Twitter. Chris Riley 3D. What else? Yeah, it is. That is the real. It's no joke. That is the real Chris Riley. Idea Maker. I like Idea Maker. I haven't gotten to the habit of using it yet. I don't know where all the fancy features are yet. No, what I was going to say, I don't remember his name. Maybe I can find the video. But he doesn't have very many subs, like 20 subs or something. I just happened to be scrolling through the page and I found it. He has the most amazing MMU2 filament setup I've ever seen. He like designed this block that has 5 lanes in it. And then on one side, there's a shaft with 5 like idler bearings, like they're about that big around. And then in between each one of those slots, he has a pane of glass that's about this tall. It's just tall enough to encapsulate that loop that it kicks out. And then the tubes go into the back. So the tubes are coming out of that glass enclosure thing, going to the printer. And then he's got his spools up here on top in a Tupperware bin with Bowden tubes going, the couplers going down to this thing. It's amazing to watch work. It is so clean. And I wish I could find it because I would send it to you. Maybe I can.
Yes, Shane. I'll sleep next to my MMU2. You weren't here earlier, but I sliced Schrodinke's cat, just the body, not the head, not the eyes, not the anything. Just the body is a 2-day print, and it has begun.
Yeah, and if somebody can find that faster than me, I would appreciate it, because I want to say his name was Paul, or that for some reason I think his name is Paul. Hopefully I was smart enough to thumbs up the video, because I think I left a comment. I did leave a comment that said it was awesome.
Carl Schoenman said he just watched his video this morning and said he will be releasing the models to Thingiverse.
Cool.
Now, Chris, my question is, although it looks really cool, do you think it will improve the filament feeding to the MMU2?
Yeah, I mean, it keeps things very orderly, and the filament from getting any sort of weird kinks. I don't know that it's going to improve the making the friction less to get to the MMU2, because the more Bowden tube you add, eventually the worse off you're going to be, right? I would prefer to bring. He's added a lot of tubing to that path. Paul Meyer, that's right. He's added a lot of tube to that path, and so there's, the friction is going to be there. So I don't know if it increases it, but it definitely makes it a lot tidier.
Yeah, because I noticed with these short ones that this actually, what I've got behind me here, actually leaves a lot to be desired as far as filament just being in the air and wrapping around everything. And
yeah. Yeah, I have the same. I got the same thing going on. There's a way. There's a better way. Check my history. That was a good tip. I even forget that is there.
I'm not going to complain to you, Shane. Not at all.
There it is. I had an interesting. I don't even remember who it was that reached out to me and told me about it. But somebody re-uploaded one of my videos the other day and claimed it as their own. I thought that was interesting.
How did they take you out of it?
That means you finally made it.
Yeah, no, I'm in it. I mean, it's just my video on his channel.
Wow. Did you report it?
Yeah, I reported. They haven't taken it down yet. It's still there, but yeah, I was kind of surprised by that.
Not a name you knew?
No, I have no idea who it is.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, Tony Ryan, that's exactly what I have done. I'm everything's running off a piece of 1.5 inch PVC pipe right at the moment.
I don't really have anywhere I can put that right now.
Yeah, I'm struggling. I did a walkthrough. I do monthly videos on Patreon if you're a $5 member or more, and you know I've shared one with you before, Walter. But one of those videos is the basement walkthrough, and I show you everything, and I took you over to the MMU2. The only place I had to put the MMU2 that all of that would fit is on my 1979 Rhodes electric piano. So it's like, you know, 4 foot long or whatever, but it's all just kind of just set there just so. And I haven't played that piano in probably 5 years. So, I mean, I'm not really broke up about it. It's just like, huh, I guess that's a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Chris Riley on Twitter.
This is going to be a mess. I can definitely see that because I'm only using 3 filaments right now. If I was to try to use 5, I would have a bundle of filament in the air back here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was all 5 hanging around. They like to cross each other.
Yeah, I see that.
Ben thinks I should be the official Chris Riley.
Why didn't you try Chris's basement?
Yeah,
because his channel name is Chris Riley.
Yeah, I wanted to stick with Chris Riley. I know that Glenn, you probably know better than I do, but there's like a rule that you're not supposed to name your channel your name or something. That's like not good or something like that.
Oh, no, that's not necessarily true. It just depends on what you're going for.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about branding, so I want everything named the same thing.
Right.
You know?
I'm all about nobody wanted to watch Walter Gray. But Kuntry3D was better.
I had a YouTube channel, and I couldn't think of a name for it. I mean, I could have called it Chris's Basement, but Chris Riley worked.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm one of those people that if I ever did anything like singing or something, I'd have to have a stage name, man.
Jam room, from the country basement. Yeah. Yeah, there's a few drum sets and stuff over there.
Yeah, that's true. Tom Sandlander has his channel under his name, and he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do Tom's 3DP on that. I didn't understand that either. But I think the Tom's 3DP came after he had the YouTube channel.
Well, there's a bunch of us on Twitter, actually. There's a bunch of Chris Rileys.
Yeah. There's a bunch on Facebook, too.
I see the problem with my fan. The ground is coming out of it. So it is a connection issue. Not that anybody cared anymore. That was like a half hour ago.
Tons doesn't even sound like a real name. I have a really hard time. Sandlanderier. I have a real hard time with that.
Yeah, I mess it up every time, so now I do it on purpose and then just apologize for it after.
Yeah,
It's Sandlanderer.
Sandlanderer.
Tom has a really cool German tongue roll that he does when he pronounces it.
I don't think there's an N in it. It's Sandlanderer.
Is it Laterer?
Yeah.
I know, I'm going to have to go look it up. Because, you know, in fairness, I feel like a douchebag when I don't say it right.
There you go. Just say Sandlanderer.
I just say that Tom guy. No, it's Sandladerer. Sandladerer.
Yeah, Sandlanderer, Sandladerer, however you want to say it. But it's not Sandlanderer.
Right. Okay, there's not a second end in there.
There's not a second end, yes.
I can blame that on my migraine today, too.
You can't.
Tom S. There you go. That's my favorite part, though, about Tom. Even if you know his last name, everybody knows Tom. So,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sonic Alchemy says 10 years plus in Germany. He can say it meow.
He can say it meow. Hurry up, meow. Do I look like a cat to you? Jumping all nimbly bimbly from tree to tree? Do you see me drinking milk from a saucer?
I watched a show the other day. I know Chris is probably not a video file, and I don't know if Glenn is or not, but it's called Three Identical Strangers. I don't know if any of you've heard of it, but back in the 60s, there was a scientific group that got with a adoption agency, and they would split up twins and triplets to see, and they would place them in like an affluent home, a middle-class home, and a poor home, right? Or whatever, and see if their class upbringing, how different they became as people. Not how well they did in life per se, but their persona. And it focuses on this set of triplet boys who didn't know each other from birth, of course. And one of them goes off to college, and apparently his brother had went to the same community college the year before, because everybody on campus was running up to him saying, hey, like they were best friends, right? So anyway, they come to find out, they meet each other, and they're like, we're twins, blah, 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 right? And then the New York Times or whatever does an article on them, because this is freaky that they meet each other, back then. And then the third one sees it in the paper, and he's like, why am I in the New York Times twice? So then they all three get together, man, and they're like the same person. They all wrestled. They all smoked the same brand cigarettes. They all dated the same type of girls. They all talked the same. They smiled the same. It was ridiculous, man.
Wow.
It was like, and they're talking about it, and it was like instant bond. There was no, hey, how you doing? I'm such and such. It was instant. They knew each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, it's crazy. And then there was another set of twins that found them as well. Anyway, the whole thing blew up. No, their parents didn't even know they were part of this experiment. There were people coming around filming these twins and or triplets or whatever, and asking them questions and stuff. And the parents were told that it was just a standard adoption practice that the children were followed for so many years, just to see how they adjusted to adoption and all that stuff. But they were secretly doing this scientific experiment on separated twins.
Wow.
It was ridiculous, man. It was awesome. Yeah, Robbie Mack, the likenesses between you and John Mack are just indescribably just awesome, man. But no, I just thought it was a cool story, because I didn't even know what it was about. I knew it was about three boys that found each other, and I thought that was a cool story. But halfway through, they throw that twist in there about the science experiment thing, and it was crazy.
Huh. Now it's scrolled off. Somebody sent me that printtable.com. That is really cool. They take lac tables and turn them into printers. Oh, it was Clyde.
They turn lac tables into printers.
Yeah, it's just they're just making lac tables, just connecting all the parts to the table. That's kind of neat.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, why not? Ron Floyd, no worries. No worries. You're here now.
Yeah.
What?
Somebody else came in too. Nuru, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I saw him, Nuru.
Slug Prince, man, we can't be triplets. Can't be.
Yeah, it's that Ron Floyd guy that says mean things to me.
Man, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you.
For those of you in the community who don't know, Ron Floyd said to me Friday night that he's seen better with a 3D pen by a sightless creator. you know, like when you're releasing a product or whatever, how you have testimonials. I'm gonna put that on the FK1 page as one of the testimonials.
And the worst part is it came from Ron Floyd, like the nicest guy in the whole world.
Well, that's what I said to him too. He's like, "Yeah, I'm so mean" or something like that. I'm like, "You don't have a meat and bone in your whole body."
Yeah, Maker Wayne says, "Why not use a lac table? Because they're made of cardboard."
Oh, no worries, John. John trolling for dollars. I showed it this morning on the stream. Sent me this knife, and I swear you could do some serious damage with this thing. He wants me to use it as my official box opening knife, but wow,
What is it?
It's something else.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. It's wicked, but much appreciated, John. This thing is really cool. I opened it up and I was looking at it, and then I realized that the little lever was, so you could switch it out real fast, and I did it, and it's just like, whoa. I mean, I actually like flinched when it popped out.
Yeah, Sergio said, "Wow, twice in one day." He must be talking about Chris Riley.
Yeah, Sergio, I've been trying to help him with making that print monitor. It was kind of funny because we were talking. He's been asking a few questions on what went wrong when he did the software, and then he was on the stream this morning, and Cromer, David Payne, was on there too, the creator of that whole thing. So that was kind of cool to put it all together.
Hey, Thomas, yes, the FK1 is printing, but no, it's not printing what I want. So I resliced the Benchy and slicer, and it still is layer shifting at about the same spot, not the same amount. So I don't know. Hey, Chris, would you email me your Benchy STL?
Sure.
So I can try it just to rule that out.
Yep. Andy Couch, no worries. We'll have more giveaways. But thank you. YouTube didn't send out a notification to a whole lot of people today. I hear.
A lot of people have been saying that recently, man.
Yeah,
they really have. Oh, and I did want to let you know, I have videos stockpiled as well, like you were talking about 6 weeks out. I think mine are like. Well, no, I don't. No, I don't. Everything's live. I don't have anything stockpiled out.
See you, Ben. Thanks for coming. Yeah, it's hard to stockpile those live streams.
It is. I've tried. I really tried. I did one the other day. I did get a few people. They were all telling me hi and all that stuff when I did the mail thing, because I had filmed the part of me opening David's gift to me on my birthday shortly after I got it. And I played that as my intro video right after my intro video.
Yeah.
So I had people saying, "Hey, blah, blah, blah." And I wasn't even on the stream yet. I was sitting there watching myself.
All right, give me 1 second to interrupt, because Chris Lane from Venturi said any more FK ups, but I can't remember what that meant. What did Chuck say that the UP stood for? I can't remember. But Justin said my cable chains are rubbing, which is possible, but I don't know what they would be rubbing on, and I don't know what would cause it to only screw up at that layer height, and it's fine otherwise. Plus, I would think this thing's got more than enough power to kick those cable chains, but Somebody asked how where was it? Something about the current, the motor current. I've got the X running at 1800 milliamp, the Y running at 1500 milliamp, and I don't remember what the extruder is running, but it was all within temperature spec. My X motor is running at 46 degrees. That one's running at 40 degrees. That one's running at about 38 degrees. So, but I'm open to any ideas and suggestions.
There you go, Glenn.
Oh, FK unsuccessful print. That's FK unsuccessful print is F cup. I'm printing a calibration cube right now. Somebody did suggest that, which is what I'm working on.
Christopher Maschek, number I2. What was I talking about?
Shane did say he's got a good one on the Z-axis setup. Some debris on the threaded rod or possibly out of spec / bent in that spot.
See you later, Thomas. Thanks for coming this morning and today. Sorry, you were really eager to win some stuff and you didn't win anything. But
the layer shift is happening on the X.
Oh,
Andy, what angle would you like to see? Robbie Mac, I calibrated or double checked everything this morning, and it's not necessarily dialed in, but it's very, very close.
Red Light, I don't know if you can scroll back up, but he did post the link to the YouTube video for that MMU2 setup.
yeah, and somebody after that said that he has a newer video of that where it actually ends up hanging up the filament. So maybe it's not a good idea.
Well, yeah, no, you said it just looked cool. You didn't know how well it worked, but
yeah, your mileage may vary.
Customer's asking if I read the wiki step-by-step guide on Duet 3D. Of course not. Who would do that? Read a manual.
Nuru, the problem with my MMU2 right now is it's constantly printing. And I haven't gotten back to try the Benchy. Nuru sent me pictures of his 5-color Benchy, and it looks awesome. He did a really good job. But I haven't got back around to testing that Benchy. So I'm hoping later this week I'm going to give it another try.
Have you done a 5-color Benchy yet, Chris?
Yeah, I've done like 6 or 7, and they've all failed. This is my best one, and it's got a huge layer shift in it.
Wow.
Oh, don't even talk to me about huge layer shifts, because that ain't no huge layer shift.
This isn't actually a layer shift. It missed a complete layer of filament.
Well, I don't know if you've had any of these, Chris. Have you had the like the skipped layer that then continues completely going?
Yeah, that's kind of what this one did.
Yeah. And I did 4 different multicolored snakes. They're all at the same layer height as this one.
Huh.
It is the strangest thing.
That's weird.
And Justin, I can't imagine that these cable chains have rubbed through. They would have to rub through the PET wire looming and then into the and it hasn't printed enough to actually make it through yet. I mean, it's possible that it could be a bad connection, but I'm trying to give my point of view. I don't know if this is helping. Try wiggling the wires to see if there's erratic behavior. Everything is tightened down so tight, though. I don't know if I can even wiggle them.
That's what it is, Glenn. You're pinching off the electricity flow.
Is that what it is? They're too tight? I'm kinking it off.
Loosen them up so the electricity will flow easier.
And then Ron Floyd wants to know if I'm eventually going multicolor on the FK1. I can't even get one color out of it. I'm not even remotely thinking about more than one color.
Shane, stop lying. You know your mute doesn't work. Yeah.
Who said that?
Shane.
Oh.
He doesn't count. He just works for Prusa.
Right.
Andy, I don't think so. I mean, it's not pulling any harder than any other extruder would pull on the filament.
Chris Johnson asked, is it facing north?
Is it facing north? No,
Yeah.
it's facing, well, it depends on which end you stand on.
Right, I guess.
It's from I'm looking south, but there's a short between the seat and the printer. That's very possible. Well, knock on simulated wood. It has not layer shifted on this calibration cube. So it could very well be that benchy model. But I've never had that happen before, and I've printed that benchy a billion times.
Yeah, that's weird.
Glenn, you should add more stress to your life and add an MMU2 to the FK1.
Oh. Where does it shift? Like, how far up is it? Does it make it to the deck?
No. Oh, no. Here. So it's right here.
Oh.
I think it's like on the third layer, maybe.
Is it doing infill by then?
It's just starting the infill. In fact, the infill is the very first layer where it shifted.
That's because it's picking up speed.
But I have my acceleration turned down to 1,000. What else should I? It was 3,000 was the way that it was set coming through the and I didn't know, like coming through the RepRap configurator. I just left it because I didn't know.
Yeah, what's your feed rate set at?
What's my what?
Feed rate.
Can I go in and see that without? Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to go through the GUI and see that. I'm not as familiar with that as Walter probably is. I know I always go back to that configuration tool.
All right, I've got steps per minute. I've got maximum instantaneous speed change.
Yeah, steps per minute.
Steps per minute is X80, Y80, Z800, E415.
Steps a minute?
Steps per millimeter.
80, yeah, that's really low. So that should be okay. What is the instantaneous speed change setting?
The instantaneous speed changes, which is millimeters per minute, is X600, Y600, Z12, and E120.
Yeah, let me do the math on that real quick.
The fact that you know there's math behind that just...
Well, I only know it in seconds. Would you say 600?
Yeah, 600, 600, 12, and 120.
That's 10. That's 10 millimeters a second. I mean, that's pretty common. I don't know. The fact, though, that it does it right at that infill really sends up a flare.
Yeah.
And then I've got my maximum speeds, which I've played with. I mean, I had this thing when I was just moving the axis. I had the speed that like
Glenn, change your camera. That's a not a great shot that we
I
got.
thought I did. Were you looking at my crotch?
We were.
Don't be looking at my crotch, you bunch of perverts.
Don't be like putting it on like a 25-inch screen for me to look at, man. Come on.
I can't help how big of a screen you have. It takes a 25-inch. Okay, let's not go there. So, yeah, I thought I'd already changed it back, but yeah, I had my maximum speed set to like 20,000 millimeters a minute, and I could move it. It would move that fast, but yeah. I've got it down to 8,000 now. My acceleration is down to 900, but I also found out belts were loose. So, but I think I've got that solved.
You said movement is 8,000 millimeters a minute?
Maximum speed, yeah, millimeters per minute, 8,000.
Okay, so that's like 130. That's not so bad. Yeah, something though about that infill.
And then my currents, I guess I have the currents 1500X, 1500Y, 1000 on the Z, which is plenty. My Z bound up coming down, and it actually started to pull my couplers apart. So it's got plenty of torque. My extruder's 800.
Yeah. What profile are you using? 0.2? You wouldn't.
0.2.
Yeah. What's in your filament profile? Does it have linear advance enabled by chance?
No. Well, no.
No,
No, it does not.
So 60 millimeters a second should be your infill speed, probably.
I might have slowed it down on the last one because it was set to 60 millimeters a second to be my normal speed, and I took it down to 30 on the last time I sliced it out of Cura.
Yeah.
Or a couple times ago.
I don't know. That's weird. Oh no, I'll have to think on that one.
Didn't you say you were doing a calibration cube? Did it skip on it as well?
As of right now, again, and knocking on simulated Chinese wood, no skip on it.
Okay.
So I'll try Chris's Benchy file next and see. Oh, people are asking questions. Thomas wants to know what slicing software. I've tried both Slicer and Cura, and they both skipped, which is weird. I just lied to Slicer. I went in and told Slicer that it was 400 by 400 bed, being I'm only printing in the home corner anyway. Does the calibration cube print solid, no infill? No, it's infill. It's 20%.
That makes me feel somewhat better.
Poppy Ron is here, and he said, "In your dreams, Glenn." Never mind. We won't go back to that.
Slug Prince said that's not the country basement he signed up for.
Hey, I told you guys I'm fully transparent on YouTube. I don't hide nothing.
Shane said, "Please do not have a wardrobe malfunction." Hey, but this is Chris's channel, so whatever.
That's why I don't do streams without pants on.
Well, guys, it has been a fast 2 hours, but it is after 5 o'clock, and I can smell dinner cooking, and it smells awesome.
I'm with you, buddy. I made homemade chili last night.
I'm a bit under the weather, so I'm good with it.
Excellent. Well, Glenn or Walter, when do you want to sign yourselves out?
Go ahead, Glenn.
All right. So first of all, to Justin, yes, the cube is printing in the same location as the Benchy, but everybody, I am Glenn, and normally I have a Xander, but we are FunKing3D, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat, if not pretty close to it, knows who we are, but we are a father and son team that do 3D printing, electronic projects, and currently working on the FK1. Just making me angry, but that's okay. I'll be better later. And Xander does a Xander's Thing Thursday every Thursday where he prints something, talks about the model and the filament used. And we can be found everywhere, FunKing3D, FunKing3D.com, at FunKing3D on Twitter. We are on Facebook, though we don't use it very much.
All right, I'm Walter from Kuntry3D, and I live stream 6 of 7 days a week. So if you're not subscribed, please do. If you're not subscribed to Chris Riley, which I'm sure you all are, seeing how this is on his channel, and he is the god of G-code, machine code, Linux, and everything that you would love to learn. But anywho, it's Chris's channel, so take it away, Chris.
Yes, thanks everyone for hanging out today. Not on just Fun in the Country Basement stream is always good to be on, but the stream this morning. Congrats to everyone that won something. I will be shipping all of that out very, very soon. The person that won the Ender 3 is already on its way. I have no idea how long it's going to take, but all of that will be going out Thanks to Walter and Glenn for the stream. It was good to be here this week. I probably will not be able to make it next week, but once in a while, hopefully, I hope to make it onto these streams. I'm Chris Riley here on YouTube, as you probably know that. But now I'm also Chris Riley 3D on Twitter. So if you would like to send me a tweet or however that works, feel free to. And hopefully I will see you all again very, very soon. And that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Later, guys.
Bye, all. Thank you. Love you.